Ninjani ma A-listers, namhlanje sivakatshele iHarare West constituency lapho esabe sixoxisana khona lo honorable uMP owesifazana, the youngest in Zimbabwe, Joanna Mamombe. She's going to be telling us and zooming in on what she has been doing as a woman who is leading in the government and as a woman who is part of the Parliament of Zimbabwe, and also we'll be zoning in on some of the works that she has done and obviously her profile. My name is Dama Vimbiso Chiwereva, aka Miss Diamond, and this is the A-List show courtesy of Enesia Mashusha. Join me and my team as we talk and zone in on Honorable Joanna Mamombe's works. Today we have a very exciting episode on the A-List. Today we decided to talk to the Honorable, the youngest member of Parliament in Zimbabwe. She is beautiful, she's vivacious, and she is very strong. Today we have Joanna Mamombe. Welcome to the A-List show.
Thank you, Delma.
Guys, it was really difficult to get hold of her. Tatambura. Thank you so much. We are honored to have you on our show.
Thank you so much for having me to this show.
Oh, yes. Honorable. Please let us in on your political profile. Who is Joanna Mamombe?
Okay. So thank you so much for having me, and I'm so honored to be part of this show. So just like Delma has mentioned, my name is Joanna Mamombe. I'm the Member of Parliament representing Harare West constituents, and I'm currently the youngest MP in the 9th Parliament. But my journey didn't just start from me being an MP.
Okay.
You see, by profession, I'm a molecular biologist. I've trained from Chino University of Technology. I've done biotechnology. I went on to do my master's in molecular biology in Norway, and I also finished my master's in UK at the University of Sussex. So by training, I'm a molecular biologist.
Wow.
But also on the side of activism, I started my politics or my activism at Chino University of Technology when I've been a student leader. So I've been on the forefront of student activism, of human rights, of gender issues, you see, on all those activism issues from my days at Chino University. So I rose with ranks from the Student Representative Council to joining one of the leading student unions in Zimbabwe, which is called the Zimbabwe National Students Union, ZINASU. Yes.
ZINASU,
So I've rose through the ranks of that students movement, ZINASU, to the highest position of being a gender secretary in that union.
Wow.
Then after that, I've also joined. I also joined MDC, which is the leading opposition in Zimbabwe. Yes. So I also joined the Movement for Democratic Change during my days as a student leader. So therefore, I raised bit by bit with the ranks in the opposition party to the point where I got elected last year as a Member of Parliament for Harare West constituents.
What an amazing journey, Honorable. It has been a really, I think, long journey with a lot of difficulties, I suppose. Can you please tell us more about the difficulties, if you faced any, from the time when you started growing in politics as a gender activism? And that's what I really want to talk about, really, because a lot of young people would also love to take up the position that you're probably taking up today, but they might think, oh, you just go there and campaign and then you become an MP, or they probably think, how do I join? How do I become what Joanna Mamombe has become? Maybe if you let us in on the difficulties, if there were any.
Yeah, I'm sure just like any journey or anything in life, obviously there are challenges that one has to face, you see, to be where they are today. So I'm not an exception, Delma. Yeah, being in politics on its own, you know, it's a challenge, you see, and also being a young person and being a woman, that's a challenge on its own. So I would say that one of the challenges is the personal risk. You see, the Zimbabwean politics, you know, it's very violent in nature, and it's very patriarchal as well. So I would say that you face resistance from your colleagues, that is the male counterparts. You see, because
from the male
exactly, because to penetrate in politics, you see, when you're a woman, it's very difficult because of the nature of politics. You know, our systems and our culture, they're very patriarchal in nature. So being a woman, it's very difficult to penetrate in those spaces. And also being a young person, remember, there are also older women who are in politics already, who also can create ceilings so that us, the young women, cannot penetrate. So that's the other challenge that I faced. But nonetheless, the personal risk, you see, the issues of harassments, the issues of abuses, torture, and arrests. You see, so politics, especially in opposition, comes with a lot of personal risk. So I have faced that as well. I've been arrested a lot of times. I've been beaten up. I've slept in jail for months. I've slept on a hospital bed after being admitted, after being beaten up by police, you know, in this country. So I would say that personal risk on its own, it's a challenge that if somebody wants to get in politics, they should be prepared to face, you know, those challenges. But all in all, I think if you're determined, you can, you know, you can reach where you go or where you want to go.
Wow, determination. You've been through all these harsh things in the political environment. So you spoke about how you have been arrested and you've slept in jail. And as a woman, you know how we all have special needs compared to our male counterparts in terms of, let's say, the environment here, Mujeri. So can you please tell us how you overcame and how the prison environment was for you? Were you receiving enough support from let's say your political fellow mates and also from the prison environment itself? Can you let us in on how it was for you?
Yeah.
And is it an environment that's conducive for females?
Yeah,
so it's prison.
Yeah, so I think in terms of the prison itself and the arrest, I would say that I think I would talk about the recent arrest where I've been charged with treason. You know, yes, they say I've been the first female to be charged with treason after Mbuya Nehanda. You see, that's what everybody has been saying. But I mean, it's not somebody that it's something that I am proud of.
I think you're the first in everything. The youngest, and I am the first. Wow.
Not really. Yes, I'm not beating the drum, but obviously I'm not proud of the arrests. You see, because I cannot normalize the abnormal. This is abnormal in nature that, you know, somebody can just be arrested and charged with treason by just speaking out in terms of the fuel prices and so forth. But speaking to the question you have raised, the prison conditions, I would say that the prison situation or the conditions in our prison, particularly in the female prison, they're bad, you see. And this is obviously due to the challenges that we are facing as a country. You see, the economic challenges, yes, everything is dilapidated. Not even going into the prisons, but in our homes where we are staying every day. Things
exactly into prisons as
well. So you'd think that our homes, they have turned to mini prisons. What of the actual prison itself? So obviously the Chikurubi female prison is not spared from the economic challenges that we are facing. You see, obviously the issues of water, the issues of electricity, or other issues that we are facing as a country, they are a challenge on its own. But the staff, I should talk about the staff, or you see the prison officers at the Chikurubi, they are also ordinary citizens who also want to see a change in Zimbabwe. So their treatment is also different. When they see a member of parliament being arrested, obviously they give respect, because I am championing what they also believe in. I'm also championing what they would want to see in future. Most of those people, they're very young. You see, they're also, you know, female prison officers who are really young, who would want to see change. So they're also inspired, you see, by the role that we are playing in politics, the role that we are playing in parliament. So I would say, yes, the conditions themselves, the physical conditions, they were bad. It's cold out there. You just sleep on the floor with just a blanket. You see, so it's not the comfort that you'd expect, you know, in your house. But at the end of the day, you know, it's the people around you. So I would say the staff themselves, they are very good, because considering that they are ordinary citizens who also want to see a change.
Wow.
So they respect us as politicians.
Wow, this is very interesting. So receiving so much support whilst you're in the prison facility, and then you have these women who are looking up to you. How is the support outside of prison? How is the support within your constituency? How has the support been like?
Yeah, I think from the time
Especially from
that
the female counterparts.
Yeah, exactly,
Yes.
from the female counterparts. But I would say that when I decided to run, when I decided to contest as a member of parliament, I wasn't looking for support from only the women.
Wow.
I was looking for support from all people in Harare West constituents.
Wow.
Yes, but since you have asked particularly about women, I would say that I got so much support, because this is why I am a member of parliament today.
Wow.
And majority of any constituents, they are women. They're young people and women. So
Yes.
I have got that support since the day I put my candidature on the table that I wanted to run. The fact that I'm young, I'm also coming from a STEM background, from an education background. I
Yes.
think I received a warm welcome from the residents of Harare West constituents. But in terms of women, yes, my mother supported me. She's a woman. She
Yes.
supported me through and through. The structures of MDC in Harare West constituents, we also have women who
Yes.
are coming from, you know, different backgrounds, who were also there to support me in my bid to run as a parliamentarian. Then, of course, all other women in the constituents, they rallied behind me. So if you take me back to the days of the campaign, you'd find that my campaign was being led by women,
By women.
old and young. You know,
Remember
they
seeing
were
some of the clips, yes,
exactly,
of women
yeah.
running behind you in t-shirts and all that. I'm like,
Yes,
wow.
women are committed, I should say. And women, if they have commit to rally behind you, they mean it. You see, so the hard work that the women put in during my campaign is the reason why I am
You are
here
where you
today.
are today.
Exactly. So they would help me door-to-door campaigns. They would help me in my rallies. They would help me in my meet and greet meetings. Everything I was doing, the women were on the forefront, and also the young people, because they saw me as that model of them to go into parliament. So I would say that I got so much support. But obviously, like I mentioned, that when you enter into politics, there are also other older women who feel that they have
You are
occupied the
taking the
space.
space, yes.
Exactly. You see, so I would say there was a challenge there where I also faced difficulties with the support from those older women, not necessarily from Harare West constituents,
Yes.
but even from outside. You see, because when you put yourself as a public figure, you'd expect people to comment, different people to comment anything about you.
Yes.
Yeah, so other women from outside Harare West would comment, you know, about my candidature, exactly, being young, that I should, you know, take time, I should go and practice in the lab. You see, becoming and also coming from molecular biology background, they would say, okay, why can't you go and practice in the lab? But my answer was that, you know, the challenges that we are facing in Zimbabwe, the solutions, we are not going to get them from the lab.
Yes.
We are going to get them from the ground, from the parliament.
We
So
have
this
to
is
be on
where
the ground.
I have to put my energy.
Wow.
You see, so that's very interesting. But I would say generally, I got so much support from the women in Harare West and from women across all political spheres and different backgrounds, especially from my party. A lot of young women, they supported me so much.
This is so interesting because we have been talking to artists, especially women, and they've been telling us about how difficult it is to actually get support from your female counterpart. Because why I'm talking about females is because it's your sister, it's you. You
Yeah.
see yourself in another woman, right?
Exactly.
But you expect them to also support you, vakukurudzire, usimukire, and finding out that in politics, women actually support each other.
We do.
It's quite an interesting survey that we are really getting. So, as a member of parliament, and you've been talking about your constituency, how are you dealing with issues of women abuse, with issues of, since you've also been in the gender side of things, how are you dealing with also issues to do with male, and do you get reports from from other women? Do they come to you with a lot of problems? And if they do, what are you doing to curb also these particular problems that they are being affected with, besides the economic stress that we are having as a country?
Yeah, definitely. I think also Harare West, or the women in Harare West constituents, they are not spared from, you see, the challenges that we are facing, the bigger challenges we are facing in the country. So obviously the issues of abuse of women, the issues of harassment, or other challenges that women are facing day to day, the residents in Harare West, they also face the same. And every day I get reports. Sometimes, so what we have actually done, we are working with churches, you see, to come together to raise awareness in terms of women abuse and women harassment, and also even some young women who are engaging in drug abuse, which has become rampant in Harare West constituents. You see, obviously because of the issue of unemployment, you see, so you'd have other young women who haven't been unemployed for, I don't know, for the past 5-6 years. You know, they haven't received any pay slip in their lives. So you see, they only resort to drug abuse. So we have a lot of those young women who are resorting to drug abuse. But what are we doing? We are working together with the police in the constituency to make sure that we do campaigns and raise awareness against you know, such kind of issues. Then also we are working with churches. You see, because our society and our country nature, it's a, you know, a God-fearing community, it's a God-fearing nation. So obviously when you work with the churches are the backbone of you know, building our communities. So we work closely with the churches to do some of these counseling processes. You see, yeah, so it will be a combination of myself as the Member of Parliament and also the church. So we have those sessions where I am invited by churches to come, you know, during those women's sessions in different churches. Yes, so we are working closely with them and also with the informal sectors, because what we have tried to do is to group women into different sectors. The church, the business community, the informal traders, the young women and so forth, so that we deal with them according to their challenges that they are facing. Yes, so we are working with them at different levels. But I would say that the major issue is to open up the space as a country for, you know, for a free and you know, for a free environment and a safe environment for women, because this is not only the challenge for Harare West, you see, but Harare West, of course, it's not spared, and I am their Member of Parliament and I have to provide leadership, you see, to the challenges that they are facing. But the fundamental issues should be addressed. You see, the governance crisis we have in this country, they should be addressed, because if you look at our constitution, all these issues of women involvement, they are clearly articulated in the constitution. You see, the constitution we passed in 2013, it clearly states the issues of gender equality, the issues of child abuses, and, you know, upliftment of young people. Everything is there in the constitution. But as a country, we need to make sure that we implement those, so that even when it cascades to the constituents level, we are able to deal with those.
Certain things in the constitution are being ignored, whereby these things can help uplift communities, whereby women's participation also in certain things in different constituencies could also help uplift our communities. Can you tell me how this women's quota systems has affected the participation of women in the political arena?
Yeah, I think this is quite interesting, but something that I should put up out there is that having a constitution as a country, it's one thing, and having constitutionalism is another thing. You see, so yes, we have a very good constitution, which actually us, the women, participated. You see, everybody was happy when we had this new constitution. You see, but now what is left is the implementation of the constitution. Because if you look, for example, the section 80 of the constitution, which talks about gender equality, you'd find that it's clearly articulated in our constitution that in any appointment, be it by the president or, you know, any board or any sectors, they should be 50-50, women and men. But are we implementing that as a country? So this is the constitutionalism I am talking about, to say we have a constitution here which speaks about good policies and use as a country, but there's the constitutionalism. We are not living, we are not walking the talk. Then you've raised an interesting issue of women's quota. I think everywhere I go, it's now the topical issue, particularly that this quota system in Parliament, the proportional representation, it's ending this term.
Okay.
This is the last term of the women's quota. But I would say that women can still rise without the women's quota. You understand that?
Yes.
Yes, as women, we can still rise without the women's quota. But is it really being honest, considering the issues that I've mentioned about, the patriarchal issues, the violence nature of our politics, the economic challenges of this country? Would women participate safely and freely in the spheres of politics?
Yes,
Definitely
they should
not.
have confidence
Exactly.
in their areas of wherever they feel they want to participate.
Yes,
If they're not
confidence.
confident
We
enough
have it, Delma.
in your
Yeah.
government. What's your take really on how the government is handling issues?
Yeah, I think still on the issues of women's quota, I've said we are able to rise, right? We have women, a lot of women who have risen without the women's quota. But the fundamental issue is it being honest to say we should remove the women's quota so that women can, challenge men at a 50-50 level. When we are failing even within the appointments, when men are appointing each other in this position. So I would say we still need the affirmative action. There's no country in this world that has achieved the gender equality, that have achieved high participation of women without the women's quota. So I would still stick that we need the women's quota because it's an affirmative action so that we can improve, we can increase the number of women participation in politics.
So you agree with me that without the women's quota, it's very difficult. It will
is
be
difficult.
close to zero to find women participating in local government.
Yes.
And in all things.
Actually, look at the parliament today. Look at it. You see how many women are there in parliament without the quota system, because we have 60 women who are elected directly with the proportional representation. So that's the 60 I'm talking about, the women's quota. So outside the 60 women that you have in parliament, look at those women with constituencies. How many are they? They are very few.
Very few,
You
yes.
see, exactly like you have said, it's next to, to zero. You end up like in that parliament just having to be a male, session. You see, so we don't want that. So I would stick that we need that women's quota so that we can improve, we can increase the number of women in politics. I still stick to that.
Okay, so realizing that, coming to the realization that our government is male dominated, do you see Zimbabwe having a female president at some
Oh, wow. Oh, Delma, I think this is quite interesting that, okay, let me see.
In your honest opinion,
Yeah,
Honorable, your
I think
honest
I would say that yes.
Okay.
Right? Yes, I would say yes, I see a female president in the future. Why?
Wow.
If you look at the ruling party, that is ZANU-PF, not the leading party MDC, no, I mean the ruling. Yeah, I mean the ruling party, ZANU-PF. You would see that there are women in the top hierarchy. Look at Opam Chinguri. She's there, she's the chairperson. You see, right now she's the acting vice president. You
And
see,
she's also part of the, is it security?
she's the Minister of Defense. So think about it, how exactly. So this is my point, to say I see a bit of future in terms of women occupying the top position, which is the president of the country, and also come to the leading party, which is us, the MDC. Yes, look at our presidium. We have President Nelson Chamisa as the president. We have 2 vice presidents, which are male, and we also have one female vice president. So that tells you if probably the president is gone, who is next? It's obviously one of the vice presidents, which is actually the female. So from me, I would say that there is a chance for us as a country to have a female president.
To say our leaders in the different political in their different political affiliations, they are warming up to
think so.
involving women in issues of politics.
Yes,
as well.
I think we are trying as a country, and even the conscientization and so forth about women participation and the involvement of women in politics. I think we are doing very well. I would say that. You see, but we need to do more.
So
Obviously, we haven't achieved where we want to see this country going.
Yes.
Exactly. But I think we are doing well, considering the comparisons that I've given you, that there are women in the top hierarchy of ZANU-PF and also in the presidium of MDC. So there's a chance for women to occupy the presidency, I would say, and probably I'll be the first. Why not?
I was about to ask you, like, Honorable, I was about to ask you that question. Because, okay, so if you were given a chance, or you're already on it, given a chance, would you run for president?
I would, because the reason why we're in leadership, the reason why we're in politics is obviously to raise within ranks bit by bit. But obviously, it was just a political banter, I should say. But yeah, everybody who is in politics, they dream to achieve the next, goal. Exactly.
Yes.
When you're just in the structures of a political party, you want to be a public official. You want to be a councillor. You want to be a senator. You want to be a National Assembly member. You see, and at the end of the day, you want to be the president. You want to be the vice. You want to be the minister. So I'm not spared from those ambitions and exactly and aspirations. And it's good that as a leader, you need to dream. You see, you need to have your vision. So yeah, I feel that if we continue in this manner as a country, that we keep involving women, most of young women like me, they would want to participate, as ministers, as vice presidents, and as a president.
That would be interesting. I would love to see you actually run for president at some point. You're young, and that's what we need, young people to keep representing us in our nation. So, Honorable, talking about how you'd like to see yourself grow, and how everybody in the political arena or in their different respective areas would also want to rise through stages and all. Do you have a role model, a person that you might say, this person in politics makes me want to do more, they inspire you?
Yeah.
Who is your role model?
I think I have several role models, I should say. It's a bit weird, but I do have a lot of people that I admire, a lot of people who inspire me in this journey. You see, at some stage, you change your role models as you go up the ladder. But I think for now, the person who is very close to me, who inspire me a lot, is my mom.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's the very first person I should mention as my role model. She was able to mold this young woman you're seeing today, exactly through the hard work, putting education in the forefront of my life. I think my mom, she's a single mom, but she managed to raise the woman you're seeing today. So for me, that hard work, the commitment, the positivity that she had in me, you see, it all speaks to
look at you today.
Exactly. So this is why I feel that my mom is my first role model, because she's somebody who is close to me, somebody I can turn to anytime. So I feel that she is a leader in her own way. Of course, she's not in politics, but I feel that she has managed to mold the leader that I am today. But at a broader scale, I think somebody who I really look up to now, or who really inspires me, is Michelle Obama. I love Michelle Obama. I think any young woman who is out there, exactly, in Africa, talk about Europe, any continent, every young woman who is in politics, or even those who are not in politics, everybody, is attracted to the leadership of Michelle Obama. So I would say that Michelle Obama, she's a very decent woman, and she has proven that even in politics, there is some decency, you see, because when we talked about politics, obviously we expect a lot of abuse, a lot of riff-raff kind of behavior that we see in some politicians.
We do hear stuff like,
exactly.
In politics, women are being taken advantage of to get positions, to get to where they want to be.
You see now,
to have a bit of.
But look at Michelle Obama. She proved beyond any reasonable doubt that she can, as a leader or as someone in politics, you can still have decency. And obviously they say behind every successful man, there is a woman, a hardworking, committed woman, and that's Michelle Obama. She also managed to, to lead the president of the United States of America, because she was leading Barack Obama. I would say in simpler terms that Michelle Obama is the one who was leading Barack, because behind every successful man there's a hardworking woman.
And you're a successful woman, so behind your success, who is behind it?
It's myself.
Okay, well, we want to get into details, but I'm sure whoever is supporting you, your support system is doing a very good job.
I think they are doing very well.
Yeah, as the youth out there, I'm sure we are really proud of the works that you're doing, and
thank you so much.
Continuing to soar to greater heights. So, your last words to your to younger women who see you as their role model, even younger males as well. You know how when you're a person, you're a leader, you inspire a lot of people.
Exactly.
What would you like to say to those people? What would you like to tell them about
So thank you so much. I think the last words that I would share with anyone, my mentees out there, I already have some that I'm mentoring, and also any other young person out there or any woman out there, is that the sky is the limit. Is the same words that my mentors have been telling me to reach where I am today. And any heights that were reached by great men, they were not attained by sudden flights, but it is through hard work, through commitment. And because when you look at the sky, it's very big, that any bird can fly. So never underestimate yourself. But at the end of the day, you also need to improve your capacities so that you can challenge the status quo. So we just need to work hard. We just need the determination and the commitment. But sky is the limit. No one is supposed to tell you that you can't. You can. And when they go low, just like what Michelle Obama said, when they go low, you go high. Keep looking at the goal and at the ball.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
So do you think education plays a pivotal role in terms of grooming one to become a politician? Or it's just determination and your dreams as an individual? Yeah,
education is a game changer. I think actually a lot of politicians, even here in Africa, they've spoken to that issue of education. Look at Nelson Mandela. He always talked about the importance of education in leadership and in politics. You need education because education molds us to who we are today. So this is the reason why I've said we need to work hard. We need to increase and mold our capabilities, because education is a game changer.
Wow.
Yes.
Powerful words right there from our honorable, the youngest MP in Zimbabwe, Honorable Joanna Mamombe. It was a pleasure having you on our show. Thank you so much for allowing us to zone in to some of the great works that you've been doing. You invited us to your prayer session. I think your party was having a prayer session for the nation of Zimbabwe.
Yes, so we were actually commemorating. Remember, it was an anniversary after the 1 August shootings last year.
Yes.
So as a party, we were remembering those who lost their lives on 1 August 2018. So it was a commemoration of remembering those who departed because of the violence that occurred soon after the elections in 2018.
May their souls rest in eternal peace. Wow. Honorable, I'm inspired.
Thank you, Delma.
I want to take your footsteps. Is there anything wrong? I will come for grooming.
Please, Why
not? Why not?
Who should be mentoring who?
I'll mentor you on my side of things. But you mentor me on politics and leadership skills. And
I think
I'm loving your skills, and it's so amazing the works that you're doing, Joanna. Please, we really appreciate the fact that you were on this show, so that people out there who don't even know, who probably see you on television or see you or hear about you in politics, but have never really gotten a chance to really see you. I'm sure this is a perfect platform. And
thank you so much. Thank you, Delma.
Thank you so much, Honorable. A-listers, that was our Honorable, the MP, the youngest in Zimbabwe. Do join us next time for yet another exciting episode. I'm Miss Delma and the crew behind the scenes, and of course, courtesy of Enesia Mashusha, it is bye-bye. Remember, the sky